So let's say you need to install an AP and you can't get data to the AP. So we've got a few options for you. Let's say you got a parking lot or some warehouse or something and you simply can't run the cable, or it's too expensive or whatever. So what do? Well, first option is what we call wireless mesh. So we're going to show you exactly how this works in a minute, but if you can understand it like this, you have a whole bunch of APs everywhere, and they make a grid basically, and each AP sends and receives data with a nearby AP until they reach the main network. And so your traffic can bounce from one AP to the next until it gets to where it needs to go. And the APs usually have a proprietary algorithm that routes the data based on signal strength and how much load each AP has at the moment. So how does it work? Well, we've got our switch here. This is our main network. Might be like in the main building or whatever. And then we got a whole bunch of APs. Then let's say they're too far from our switch. So in this case, all our APs are connected and they can route traffic, but not a big deal. Now let's say here's our main network, and we've got all our APs and they're all connected to the main switch because they're all within 300 feet of each other. You got a whole bunch more APs out in the parking lot that are more than 300 feet away, and you got one of them says, hey, here's my signal. So it talks to a nearby AP, and the nearby AP talks to the switch. So everybody's happy. You know what I'm saying? So these two APs out here in the parking lot, they don't need to be connected directly to the switch because their signal reaches another AP who's connected to the switch. So that's great. And we can even add more APs even further away. And now these APs can talk, to a nearby AP, and that AP can send its signal that it received to another AP, and that talks to the switch. So now everybody's happy. And of course, this signal works in reverse as well. So, advantages. Yeah, it can provide Wi-Fi coverage in areas that can't accommodate your Ethernet cables, especially like wide open areas outdoors. But of course, it does need a power supply. So those APs that don't have data cable, power is not an option over that non-existent cable. So you need to get a power outlet next to that AP. You got no power and no data, then what do? Well, we'll talk about that. But at the same time, you gotta think about, the all this traffic is going along this mesh network, and so the data transfer can be slow because it has to go first AP and second AP and third AP, and each AP has to think about where the data is going to go next. So you've got a bandwidth restriction, and also the latency could be very high before you get what you want. So let's say you can't install the data out in the yard and you can't install power outlets either. Well, you can install a solar panel next to each AP and power AP with solar power or a battery or whatever. So obviously you need to think about sun exposure and cost benefit analysis because solar panels are very expensive.